I bought every shade of this brand new sunscreen blush from the brand Ciele. I'm gonna talk about these, do some swatches, and then I also did a little more shopping in Sephora and Ulta. Hopefully I can help save you a lot of money because a lot of these new products I absolutely do not like and they're not worth your money, but there are a couple things in this video that I'm so excited about that I think that you are going to love them as well. If you love sunscreen makeup the way I do, then let's just try these on together, and then I'll do a whole swatch of them and then give you my first impressions. Of course, I will continue to wear these and test them and see how they wear throughout the day. But if you are not familiar with this brand, this is not sponsored by the way, I bought all of these with my own money the second I could order them. They just came out. They're only available online. But this brand of makeup is all sunscreen makeup, mineral sunscreen makeup. And if you have hyperpigmentation or melasma like I do, sunscreen is your best friend. Not just putting my sunscreen on in the morning, but then reapplying it throughout the day. And one of my favorite ways to reapply is to reapply with actual makeup that has sunscreen in it. It's an acne safe brand. It says this is clean, talc free, no pore cloggers, and it's an SPF 45 powder, broad spectrum, flush color, and a natural blurring finish. But let's just open them all and see what they look like. This is the one that I think I was most excited about. This is the shade called Chill. Ooh, I like this little packaging, very, very pretty. And there's no mirror inside, which I'm totally fine with because I don't really use the mirror inside baby little compacts like this. They feel very creamy, even though it's a powder. And let me just see what this looks like on the back of my hand. I'm looking in my mirror, my zoom in mirror. This is actually really pretty. You know what I like about this? It's kind of like a soft blurring shade. Is that what it says on here? Natural blurring finish. Yeah, so they definitely are right with this kind of blurred look. I like that they're not ridiculously pigmented, but it seems like they're pigmented enough. So we'll try this one on our cheeks here in a second. This one is the shade Shy, and this is what the packaging shade looks like, and this is what it looks like. And what I'm seeing in my viewfinder, I'll know for sure when I edit it, but what I'm seeing in my viewfinder as far as the color, this is true to what it actually looks like. You know how sometimes people have different lighting on and you think that blush looks like a shade that you might like and you get it and it's like super dark, 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 you know, orange or whatever. But what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing with my natural eye, this is true to what the color really is. Fast forward if you just want to see all of the swatches on my arm. Let's just go ahead and try one of these on, and then of course in the swatches I'll show you every single shade. I bet this one, Chill, will probably be their biggest seller. It's really pretty. Let's just see. I'm just using a Refer. This is a 05. I have a bunch of different clean brushes because I'm sure I'll end up trying it with a bunch of different blush brushes. You're able to really go in on it. And you know how some blushes you can only be like, boop, and then that's like more than enough. So I like that you can just do what we normally do and just kind of tap it in. And for me, I like to just get off a little excess. And let's just see what this looks like. Oh, you know what I like? Ooh, this is gonna look so pretty with their cream blushes. These are the SPF 50 cream blushes. These are so these are my favorite. This one in the shade Behati is my favorite. It's kind of like that your cheeks but better. It would look beautiful on just about anyone. If you don't want too pink, if you don't want too orange, this is just the perfect natural blush color. But what I notice, I'm gonna have to zoom in so you can see, I'm not a huge powder wearer. I will do a light dusting of powder on my face, but what I notice is that these are just super soft and blurring. Look at this. This is like the second time I've put it on. Do you see how this just kind of blurs out any major shine? I mean, I still have a glow because I have bright kitchen lights here, but if you are looking for that barely there or just a little more natural blush, something that's easy, like that you could probably close your eyes and put it on, I think that you're really gonna like these. And now, don't think you can skip your regular sunscreen and only use sunscreen makeup like this. I mean, I have just a very small amount on my skin, so it's really not enough for full coverage. But using makeup with sunscreen is like icing on the cake because you're getting that extra little amount of sunscreen. Let's try this shade. This is shade Blaze. I'm gonna try that on this cheek, and I'm going to use a different blush brush here. Ooh, oh, a lot goes on this brush. Of course, it's also gonna be dependent on what brush you're using, so let me just wipe off a smidgy. And this side of my face, I have some healing pimples, 3 little pimples here I was doing a declutter and I was testing out some older cream blushes I had, and I probably left them on too long. And then I woke up the next day with a few little blemishes. What I like is this is like basically putting your powder on for the day. I think these are gonna look great by themselves, and then let's just see if I can put what Bahati looks like over top. The other thing I like about this cream one, this is not brand new, but this is like my second or third one. But the other thing I like about Bahati, do you see how much I can put on? Their other liquid blushes, let me see which one I have. I have their new one, Shade Berry. If I did this with Shade Berry, I would look like a total clown. Like literally with Shade Berry, you can go like this. And then let me show you how pigmented. Do you see this? Like these are so pigmented. So for me, since it's a sunscreen, I like to use this one on my lips as my lipstick, and it will stain my lips this color. That's why I like berry. But with this one, Bahati, I can put a decent amount on and either blend it with my finger or with a sponge, and it still looks nice and natural. And if you're worried about getting enough sunscreen protection, if you're using this to reapply some sunscreen, especially over an area of hyperpigmentation and melasma, you see I'm able to use a decent amount, a proper amount. So I think that's another reason I love the shade Bahati, is I can actually put plenty of it on and I know I'm getting that extra protection. This is really pretty. If you are like me and you're not great with makeup, and sometimes you look in the mirror and you're like, what the heck, what have I done? If you want something that's easy to use, that you're not going to put way too much on, and if you do, I mean, look at how soft this looks around the edges. This is really pretty. Okay, I love it. Love it, love it, love it so far. I wish they had like another shade though that was a little more like this, but a little bit brighter with the purple undertones. That they could call that one Graceful Beauty. That would be my perfect shade. But I like what this looks like. Let me zoom in so you can just, oops, wrong way. Let me zoom in so you can see what my pores look like. Look at what it does to my pores. It really minimizes the look of my pores. I'll have to research what ingredient in here is making everything look so smooth and poreless. First impressions, it's usually very difficult to wow me on first impressions. I pretty much knew I was gonna love them because I love everything else from this brand. But I mean, that's pretty. I think that's really, really pretty. I'll see what it looks like when I edit it, but what do you guys think? These are really, really nice. I'll link these down below. They're brand new. You cannot get them in store right now, so you can only get them online. So I will link down below where you can get these. I'll show you all the swatches, and then I'll put all the names on them so that, you know, I'm sure you're not gonna buy every single one unless you do YouTube also, or unless you just are a collector and you're obsessed with this brand, like I am. I think this one, Chill, I think this is the prettiest one, and I don't know, I bet this will be probably one of their biggest sellers. All right, I'm gonna do the swatches of these, and then I'm gonna show you all of these other items I purchased at Sephora and at Ulta, and I don't like a lot of them, so hopefully I can help save you some money. And by the way, these swatches are filmed in natural lighting. They were blended out with my finger. These are true to color on my skin compared to the swatches that I saw on Sephora's website, which looked a little bit different, but most likely their swatches were filmed with special lighting to look more intense. Screenshot this if you want to compare. I bought 2 of the new Too Faced. These are their lip injection lip plumpers. Ooh, they don't plump my lips like at all. I've used these for years. They're just kind of fun. They're kind of like the adult version of those like old Bonnie Bell, Dr. Pepper, Orange Crush flavored type lip products. And they do sting your lips, I think, a decent amount, but not enough to where you feel like you have to go to urgent care. I'm gonna put some on my lips right now, so I'm just gonna put this new shade. This is, I think, a la mode, and it just tastes like a dessert. It's super, it's kind of like that 1990s look. I already have my darker lip liner on, and then it's kind of like a nude, slightly frosty, kind of pinky beige lip product, and I think it's really pretty and it tastes good. This is the one I was most excited about. I thought this one was really pretty. It's got more purpley to it than what I saw on their ad. It's actually a really, really pretty shade. It's kind of like this sheer purpley berry shade, and the scent of it, it's almost like a grape and a raspberry scent. These aren't plumpers in my opinion, they're just kind of fun lip glosses, but what I love about this shade is it actually stains my lips after I blot it. So some days when I'm just in a hurry and not trying to, you know, make my lip products look super precise, I'll just put a little bit of this on, blot it, and and then I'm good to go to have like that little sheer wash of color and then that fun kind of nostalgic lip product on. Do I think you need to rush out and buy either? Oh, you can see where it kind of stained my hand just within a few seconds. But do I think you need to go out and buy these? No, unless you're like me and you just like trying new lip products on the market. Now, this is something that was sent to me. This is from the brand City Beauty. This is their Gentle Glow Nourishing Cleanser. I don't actually spend that much money on cleansers or moisturizers. I usually just use something from the drugstore. I actually dumped it out into my hand soap thingy, and I use it for hand soap. It has a little bit of fragrance. It says it's got, I think, like a pistachio scent, but I don't really smell that. But it's, to me, it's a cleanser. So I would never go and buy this with my own money. For me, I don't think it's that worth it. But if you love City Beauty's skincare products, then you might like it. I also got the new K18, their Biomimetic Hair Science Heat Bounce Conditioning Heat Protectant. And it says that it protects your hair up to 450 degrees. So I like this for when I blow dry my hair, because for me, since I have all gray hair, I just color it. That's why it looks brown right now. But for me, since my hair is kind of wiry now, since I'm 53 and it's all pretty much gone grayish white, I like to use my blow dryer on a higher heat. So using some type of a heat protectant is always must have for me. But I've only used it a couple times when I washed my hair. I haven't washed my hair in a couple days. Did I even brush it today? I don't think I brushed it, but I did with my fingers. It's nice so far, but I'm not sold on if you need to rush out and buy it. I think that there's plenty of good heat protectant and leave-in conditioners from the drugstore. But I'm still testing this so that I can really give it my final thoughts. But I love the K18 treatment. That's a product I'm never without. But for this, I'm not sold on it just yet. Another hair product I picked up, I probably got it because I thought this packaging was pretty. I'm a sucker for pretty packaging. But this is the Color Wow Youth Juice Collagen Scalp Treatment. They showed some before and afters on the little ad at Sephora, and I was like, wow, that looks really promising. Now, I don't really have super thin hair. I used to, but I've always had these like bald spots here. But for me, I like to always just use like hair thickening or scalp products right here in this like bald spot area, just to make sure these hairs don't thin out. Of course, I've only used it like for a week, so I have no clue if it's gonna work, but I like the way it feels. I can put it on and massage it in, and you know, some of those hair serum and products, those leave-ins, you're like, well, darn it, now my hair looks greasy and oily. It doesn't look greasy and oily with this. So I do like it so far as how it feels, but as far as results, I have no clue. So I'll have to update you in a few months if I think this is worth it. These are two new products from Dr. Idris. This is her lip peel and the lip base. This is like a nice, thick, rich lip product, and you could use this morning or evening. I like it. It's really nice. I don't know if I'll buy it again because I have so many different lip balms and lip products that I put on my lips in the evening or before I do my makeup. And as far as you know, it doesn't plump or anything like that, but if you have really dry, crusty, dusty lips, you might really like it because it does feel very nourishing. It's moisturizing, and I wake up and my lips do feel nice and soft. And then the other product that I thought was really neat from her is her lip peel. And I do not use like scrubs, especially at 53 years old now. Scrubbing with those sugar scrubs and things like that on your lips, that you might get some good results one time, but the more you use those little scrubs on your lips are going to get so irritated. It has like this little roller ball on it, and ignore all of the swatches and the stain, the lip stain on my hands. But it's nice because it's just basically like putting on an acid. However, I probably won't buy this again, even though I do like it, and it does make, like, if you have any dry crusties on your lips, you put this on and then put your lip base over top, and you wake up and your lips are smooth as butter. They're perfect. But the reason I probably won't buy this again is because honestly, I can use just one of like my gentle toners or gentle acids and put that on my lips, something with lactic or mandelic or even the gluconolactone. Something I already have. I mean, this is really pretty and neat if you want something specific for that. But for me, you know, if you're on a budget, just use whatever your normal gentle acid is that you use on your face. put that on your lips, leave that on for a little bit, and then just rinse it off, and the crusties will chemically start to eat off. And then put on some Vaseline or Aquaphor or whatever your favorite lip product is. It's a nice product, but I don't think you need to rush out and buy it. One other product from her brand, Dr. Idris. Now, I do like a couple of her products. I like her glycolic mask. I think that's nice. And the one thing I really like from her brand is her vitamin C. That's like a serum moisturizer that comes in the little tub and you push it, and I really like that. But I saw mixed reviews on this. This is her new sunscreen, but I still had to buy it because I thought, well, you know, sometimes people say things aren't good or vice versa. They say they're great and then I have a different result. So of course I wanted to buy it and test it out, and I do not like it. I'm not gonna return it because I'm just gonna use it on my neck and my chest. But here's the reason I don't like it. I love the ingredients, and it also has one ingredient in here that can help with hyperpigmentation and melasma. But for me, my skincare has ingredients that help with hyperpigmentation and melasma. So I think that's nice that I think it's resorcinol or hexyl resorcinol is in here, and that can help in addition to your skincare. But for me, it's very greasy, and that's what a lot of the reviews said. People said it is so greasy and their face just stays super duper shiny. Now, do you see how I just applied 2 finger lengths of it? Most doctors say that's pretty much what you need for your face is 2 finger lengths. But this is what you probably didn't notice. I was squeezing this so hard. Like, I'm not a weak person. You know, I'm not like Wonder Woman, She-Woman or whatever. But I feel like the average person is just going to go like this. Dude, that's not enough if you were only going to use these 2 fingers on the end, because this little opening is so small. But not just that, you have to squeeze it really, like I'm squeezing this really hard to get that out. And I just feel like maybe more should come out so that people aren't like, oh, I got my 2 finger lengths. This right here just really is not, it's just not enough for the face. But I'm not gonna waste this. I use it on my neck and I put it down my chest. So I do like it for that, because I do like my neck to have a little more moisturizing, you know, than on my face. And then I just put it on the backs of my hands and my arms. And so it's nice. It's kind of just like a nice moisturizing lotion. But for the price, there's other drugstore moisturizing sunscreens that I could easily just use on my neck, my chest, the backs of my hands, and my arms. For me, the price of this and the performance, it's just not there. It's, you know, maybe if you have super duper dry skin, you might really like it. But it's also, it's not a mineral sunscreen, it is a chemical sunscreen. And I just feel like in today's day and age, we have so many affordable chemical sunscreens on the market, and ones that don't feel so slimy and so greasy. I think because it has shea butter in it, I mean, it's quite greasy. If you don't like greasy sunscreens, hopefully I can help save you some money. Just want to tell you a funny story. I was in Ulta, and there's a product that I was overhearing. I was being nosy and I heard this lady go up to the worker, and she's like, hey, have you tried this product? And she's like, can you show me where it is? I want to buy it. I see it all over TikTok and everybody is raving about it, every influencer. And the worker was like, can I just be honest with you? She said, don't listen to any of those reviews. She said, especially on TikTok. She said, this product is sold out here, and it's been sold out like 2 or 3 times since it came on the market. She said, it is not a good product at all. She said, in fact, everybody that works here, we all hate it. It's a terrible product, but it keeps selling out because of what all the influencers are saying on like TikTok. Of course, I was listening like, I gotta get my hands on it then. So of course I had to order it online since it wasn't in the store. And what it is this new, it's not brand new, but this is the Tarte CC Colored Clay Under Eye Corrector. And it says it's a dark circle defense. And the photo, you see the before and after on the photo, the results looked really nice. And I will say that it does give you those results as far as color correcting, because I bought the shade, what did I buy? The lightest one. This is like light peach, light medium peach. I like that it has a little mirror in it, which is nice, but I don't really use those mirrors. But this is the shade. Let me get out of the bright lights. It is kind of thick and heavy, so when you use it, if you use your finger or brush, you really want to wipe off some of the excess, because it is kind of like a thick, rich product. So if you have super dry under eyes, and if you have really dark circles, really the only thing that I like is the tint. It's peach, and that's what always helps with dark circles. I have not necessarily dark circles, but these hollowed areas. You know, people get fillers for that, but I don't want fillers. But for me, for the most part, unless I put on really heavy makeup, nothing's gonna completely cover this. And as you can see from the footage that I pop up, it does cover nicely, but as soon as I like wink or, you know, squint or whatever, and this is of course before it's fully set, it does crease. I mean, this stuff takes forever and a day to fully dry down, on me at least. So for me, this is not something that I think that you need to rush out and buy. There's so many other peach color correctors, or just get a peach concealer. For example, one of my all-time favorite concealers for my face is by the brand Ciele. And this is not just any basic concealer. It's not just your basic color correcting concealer. This also has an all mineral SPF 50 in it. So if you deal with a healing pimple or dark spots or hyperpigmentation, melasma, using additional makeup products that have sunscreen in them is just icing on the cake. But this is their 08P. It's like a peach shade. I'll put a little here on my hand. Now, I don't usually use this under my eyes unless I'm really trying to like add a little extra to this darkness area where the hollows are. I'll compare it to this peach. This one is a little bit lighter, of course, because I picked the light shade, so I could get a lighter peach in this. But this one from Ciele, I like it so much better. Once this fully dries in about 10 minutes, the Ciele one, it doesn't budge. Even if I run my hand underwater, it just does not budge. But what I love is it doesn't get dry and crusty. Now, the reason I don't wear the Ciele concealer under my eyes as much is because it is thicker. Just like this is like a thick concealer. And I like something that's a little more thinned out. So sometimes I'll just put it on the back of my hand and then blend it on. But I like the Ciele concealers mostly for like a spot on my face. If I have a blemish, a pimple, dark spot, hyperpigmentation, or melasma, I will add some on my forehead. Anywhere that I have, you know, that extra pigmentation. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad product at all. Perhaps you love it and you get great results with it. You know, really, if you just use the teeniest amount, this light peachy, kind of thicker consistency would be really nice to cover any dark circles. But I feel like you definitely want to powder it down and set it. And that's another reason I don't love it. The Ciele one, this is self-setting. I don't need to put powder on it or anything. It self-sets on its own and it does not budge. With this, I feel like I do need to add a little bit of powder, and I'm not a huge powder wearer. I am, you know, on some areas of my face or right in my T-zone, but at 53 years old, underneath my eyes, I don't care what anyone says, even if they're like, you have to use the lightest amount of powder. I've tried every powder pretty much on the market. I've tried it in the lightest, barely there application. And for me, for my skin, I'm not saying it'll happen to you, but for my skin, my under eye area starts to look so crusty, and I'm like, where did all those fine lines come from? When I put powder under my eyes. All right, two other brand new products that I purchased. This is the Kosis Soul Gazer. It says it's a lengthening, a lifting peptide mascara. Since I love Kosis, I love the Kosis concealer. I love the Kosis brow, this nano brow. These are two of my holy grail Kosis products. Even though I'm not a huge powder wearer, I even like their loose powder. This is like the buttery, translucent buttery. I don't like this under my eyes. It looks pretty at first, but in about an hour, it starts to look kind of crusty. But I do like this in my T-zone because even though it'll kind of like mattify that T-zone area, my skin still looks healthy and glowy. It's a really pretty powder. And oh, I guess I love a lot of things from Kosis. This is my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette. It's just boring basic nudes, and they're all matte except for this kind of peachy shimmery shade. That's what I have on my eyes today. I love this palette. I don't think there's anything else that I love from the brand. Some things I absolutely despise, like their foundation. I do not like that. But I was super excited to get this and try it out. This one from Dibs is my absolute favorite current mascara because, as you can see, it has a brown primer side on one side, which you really could just use as your mascara. And what's nice is this is a cool tone brown. It's not that weird orangey brown, but then it has the black side on the other side that can really give you those va-va-voom lashes. And it's a tubing formula, so it comes off so easily. It's just a fabulous mascara. I mean, hello, look how pretty it is. I wanted to compare this new Kosis on the other eye because now since I have something that I love, the Dibs, now everything, I have to compare it to that. And I'm actually quite impressed with this Kosis one. The Kosis, I've only used it 2 times. So for me, when mascaras are brand new, they just don't perform that great. The true test will be in like 2 weeks, and then I'll know after some extra air has gotten pumped into the, the tube. I'll know if it's really a formula I love. But so far, this is the Kosis side today, and this is the Dibs side. And then on the bottom lashes, I only use the brown from the Dibs because it doesn't budge. I never get little dots under my eyes. I like to just use something a little more natural on the lower lashes, and black sometimes looks a little harsh. So I like the dark brown shade just for both lower lashes. But I don't know, what do you guys think? This is the Kosis, and this is the Dibs side. I think they both look really nice. I probably still like the Dibs side the best. And finally, this brand new concealer, $35 concealer, might I add, from Makeup Forever. This has this brush on the top of it, and I saw this and was like, oh my gosh, I have to buy this. This is the worst concealer I've ever used. The brush on the top is very gimmicky. When I use it, sometimes the hair falls out and then gets stuck in the concealer. This concealer, do you see how this oxidizes? It turns into this, and I got like a light shade. This is one of the lightest cool tone shades, mind you. It's supposed to be cool. And this turns dark orange on my skin, and it oxidizes so bad. But not only that, it is so drying. And at $35 and being Makeup Forever, I really thought this was going to be impressive. And the other thing that got me, I will say, beware of reviews that you see on these websites, especially if it says incentivized or product given for free in exchange for a review. Now, I'm not saying everybody does what I'm about to say. And you know, sometimes brands, they send me products for free, and I appreciate it. I love it when brands send me products for free. Then I can test them out, and if I don't like them, obviously, then I'm not like, darn it, I wasted a lot of money, which I wasted a lot of my own money in this to test out products. But a lot of these reviews that I see on Sephora, they're like, oh my gosh, it's the best concealer I've ever used. And then I read it and it says incentivized, because of course by law they have to say that, or it says they were given the product for free. So some of those, just take those with a grain of salt. And of course, even watching my channel, take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm always gonna share my honest reviews, but of course I get it, you don't know me personally. So I bought it anyways, even though most of the reviews, since it was brand new, most of them were incentivized, but I thought, well, let me at least try it and see if it really is amazing. And my jaw hit the floor when I put this on. That's how terrible it was for me. All right, so I did spend a decent amount of money on all these products, and I don't feel like everything's a waste, because you guys, these blushes, I am absolutely in love with these blushes, and I am rarely in love with something first impressions, but I think they really knocked it out of the park with these blushes. My only complaint is that I feel like there's not enough cool tone, like purpley undertone blushes in here, and I don't know if because of the formula it's difficult to do that since it's sunscreen, but these are stunning. So I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.